Welcome, everybody, to Be Kind and Rewind with Ruckus, your only nostalgia-based show on Premier Streaming Network, where we invite pro wrestlers, athletes, MMA fighters, actors, actresses, musicians, and notable personalities to come on and talk all things retro, movies, toys, games, and music. I'm your host, Mikey Ruckus. Joining me to my right is my co-host, Keeping It Will. And we have a very special guest this week, the legendary, iconic CROWBAR. CROWBAR, how are you, man?
I'm feeling good, guys. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm looking forward to this. It sounds like a whole lot of fun. So this is really cool.
Absolutely. Keeping It Will, how are you this week?
Yeah, I'm a little amazed. I don't know how you pulled this one off, but man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm honored for this one. Thank you so much for doing this. He's not lying when he says legendary. Thank you so much for being on the show.
And for whatever reason, and Will asks me every single week. He asks me every single week. I don't know how you pull this off. So, Will, I'm going to let you know right now, and CROWBAR will agree with you. I'm kind of a big deal. So, just so you know.
It is, man. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Who, like you or me?
No, not you.
Not me.
I would expect nothing less from my sister.
My 82 Twitter followers do not command me as a big deal, is what you're telling me. Okay. Just to make sure you understand.
And out of 82 followers, 81 of them are bots. So
okay,
just so you know,
you tap things on your computer and you make things, right? 2 of us on this show have actually been professionally trained in wrestling. Only one has.
Yeah, not you.
It is me. Hold on, I'm breaking news.
Wait a minute.
Now.
So you're a wrestler and you're a baseball player and you're a keyboardist and you bake bread.
True story. Hold on. There's proof of this.
Don't listen to him, CROWBAR.
I lived in CROWBAR, seriously. I lived in Phoenix, Arizona, and I waited tables with a professional wrestler. I was like, will you show me how to do this, right? And we rented a gym for a week, and I worked out for 3 different days. And I was like, hell no. I took bumps, I took back bumps, I did everything.
So here's what's going to happen. When we see CROWBAR at a convention in 2024,
okay,
you, Keeping It Will, are going to take a bump courtesy of CROWBAR.
I can do it. I'm telling you, I know I do it.
We'll definitely do it.
All right, there's proof. You're going to look.
I'm good with the lockup, but I'm not good with taking bumps.
Time out. Do you remember when we filmed the Matt Hardy's video and the guy goes, you were really, you work your way around the ring. He did, because I've done this before. I'm telling you, man. I've never told you this because I didn't want to hear your bullshit.
Well, you're a damn lie.
I'm telling the truth. We'll have the person on. But anyway, CROWBAR, thank you so much for joining the show today.
Fantastic to have CROWBAR on with us this week. We have a special movie that CROWBAR has chosen himself. We're going to be reviewing Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. And you talk about childhood memories with the Star Wars franchise.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, how did you pull this one off?
Amazing choice this week. And with that, on top of it, we're going to be doing Guess That Top 10. We're Keeping It Will is going to read off the Billboard Top 10 singles the week that Empire Strikes Back was released, which is June 18th, 1980. From there, we're going to go into Pop Culture of the Year 1980. And then we're going to go into Show and Tell. CROWBAR has some special things he's going to share with the class this week. And then we're going to jump into Wacky Table Reads. We're actually doing a special table read this week. Typically, we do comedy films, but CROWBAR has chosen Seinfeld and King of Queens. And Keeping It Will has chosen 2 surprise scenes from those 2 series. So I am excited. I am absolutely excited about this episode this week.
This is a first. We've never done table reads from a TV show. This is a whole unique new thing. So I'm in.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
You are first here. I love it. Love it.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and jump into the movie review this week. Keeping It Will, take us away on it.
Yeah. So number one, what a franchise, right? So I got to ask. We look at the background. We see where we're at there in the background behind you. I kind of want to ask you why you chose it, but I think we already know. But what I want to ask is, what made you choose Empire Strikes Back specifically from this franchise?
Just thinking back as a kid, like I didn't see Star Wars in the theater. I got to see that when it came on HBO and stuff like that. So when The Empire Strikes Back hits, and movies aren't like now. You had to wait for these sequels years and years to come out. So it finally comes out. In between, we had the ill-fated Star Wars Christmas special, which, by the way, I had on today. I had it on today. It's
Okay.
on YouTube. I made my patients watch it. I own a physical therapy facility, and we all collectively decided today during work, we're all going to muscle through this. And I think we clocked it. It's like 7 or 8 minutes into the thing. There is not one word spoken. It's Wookiee speak back for like 8 minutes. It is, and we're watching this and saying, they must have said, hell, we don't have a sequel yet. Might as well make this money while we can. It is so bad, but it's so good at the same time. It's so me and my patients muscled through the Star Wars Christmas special today, and it was wild. So Empire comes out, and that was my first time when you would go to a movie and people were lined up, wrapped around the building. It was insane. It was totally insane.
It was a blockbuster.
Yes. And there was no like internet or anything like that. You know, the big cliffhanger everybody knows is Luke, I am your father. You know what I mean? That there was no leak. That wasn't getting out at all. So when that happened, you were floored because as a kid, you know, like 74, I was like 6, 7 years old. You're wondering, is Darth Vader a robot? Maybe is he this? Is he that? You don't know what's going on. And then you hear this guy, this evil, terrible guy, is the father of the main hero of this. It was mind blowing.
Yes.
You know that you say that. I want to bring up an interesting point. There was no internet. Number one, I don't know where you saw this at Ruckus, but I actually saw this at a drive-in theater in Fayetteville, North Carolina, the Fox Drive-In, right? And I was blown away about when that line dropped, right? But if you look at it now, you're right. There was no spoilers. It was such a major hit and such a major twist in a movie, plot twist, right? That we're still referencing it to this day.
Yep.
And all you knew about these films were what you saw in the trailer, and that was it.
Yep.
That was it.
And you didn't have quote unquote fanboys on the websites talking trash, going, everybody's hating this, everybody's hating that, right? And really, I think that's why these three are the most loved, because they were left alone to do their thing, right? There was no outside interference and all these different aspects, right? So if you think about it, and I'm going to say something that's going to get me probably beat up a little bit for this, but fanboys, you're the ones that ruined the Star Wars franchise. Y'all did it. Y'all get what you deserve there. But yeah, it's such it still sticks out to this day of how emotional that moment was when Luke finds out, like, you know, do you think he was more upset that Darth was his father, or he didn't know that Leia was a sister at that point, though, right?
No.
He was a Jedi, so he probably had a feeling, which made it ultimately weird. So it's just something to think about long term.
There's that whole dynamic there, though, that Darth Vader was a father, but Obi-Wan freaking lied to him in his head. Big deal there, you know, like lied right to him. You know,
is Obi the heel? If we look back now, is Obi the heel and Vader is the face?
I have a great answer for you.
Yeah,
from a certain point of view.
Okay.
Come on, from a certain point of view. That's a Star Wars line.
Oh, I'm lost. I'm like,
terrible.
I thought there was something else coming in there.
I thought you could hang. From a certain point of view, and you say, yeah.
I blew it. I'll get better as time goes on. So, but in all realisticness, for a newbie, like, because I'm still quasi newbie, right? Okay. Do you think that Vader was more of a good guy in that aspect?
No, absolutely. A bad guy, wanted to conquer the galaxy, wanted his son to come with him so they could screw the Emperor. You know what I mean? So there's all kinds of, you know, double crossing going on. And that just happens with the Sith. That's the nature of the Sith. The apprentice ultimately aspires to overthrow the master, and that's just going to happen. Hell of a way to live. That's a terrible way to live.
Yeah.
Is it a hell of a way to live or a terrible way? I'm kind of into it, if I'm
Both.
being honest with you. Yeah, I would be. Yeah, that's how I would roll.
If you're the master, you know what? How do you sleep? How?
Yeah, because somebody's coming for you at some point.
But isn't that the way everything in life is when you're up top? There's always people coming after you, right? They're trying every way to knock you down.
Yeah, but they ain't trying to kill you with a lightsaber. Big difference.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Nobody wants to get killed with a lightsaber.
No, I don't want to get killed. I don't want to get sliced and die in my sleep. Actually, I'd rather die in my sleep than some kind of suffering when I was awake. But
but
if I could avoid it, I'd like totally avoid it if I could.
Yes, it didn't look like it hurt Opie too much though, because he just kind of just dropped when he got hit with the lightsaber.
He had that Force Ghost thing going on. Like he knew.
He knew he was able to project.
He had that mastered already. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he knew it wasn't going to bother him.
That is awesome. Now, Ruckus, was this where did this rank as far as the first three that came out in the theaters? Not the first three total, but the first three that came out in the theaters. Where does this one rank for you?
Well, I would say that this one was number one compared to the first for the first three, with the original Star Wars being the second, because I was in the same boat as Crowbar. I saw The Empire Strikes Back first, and I saw it at the Crater 8 Cinemas on Crater Road in Petersburg, Virginia, and.
Wow.
And Crowbar describes, well, back then in our Tri-City area, that was the only movie theater besides the Walnut Mall, which had it's like two theaters. The Walnut Mall Cinema, it just had 1 and 2, and then the Crater 8 was like the big one. And,
Appreciate it, Google Maps.
I know you went to Chester Cinemas. They had like 5 in there, but
said I was in Fayetteville, but keep going.
Crater 8 was the spot. And just like Crowbar described, with people outside, and I think that being in the early 80s and not being exposed to the internet yet, or the fanboys, just like you guys are saying, I'm kind of piggybacking on what you guys have already said. It protected it protected the special aura of the film.
Yeah, you went in fresh.
Yes,
fresh.
Yes.
You
can't get that anymore, though. You cannot get that anymore.
And it's in all walks of life, all fandoms, because you have people that are connected. The only thing that you had to rely on back then was your small group of friends that you had, and maybe Siskel and Ebert and a couple of reviewers on TV. Yep. But other than that, there were no plot points that were given away. There were no behind-the-scenes details that were given away. You had to wait years before there was a behind-the-scenes special.
Yeah. The only kind of clues you might have gotten is if I can't remember if it was McDonald's or Burger King, they would have the glass sets, and you see some characters on there, some ships and stuff like that. Yeah. You might get a glimpse of action figures or vehicles like that too, because I played with the toys, so they would have these mail-away figures. What the first mail-away figure was Boba Fett. And
that's right. I remember that.
You knew he was going to be this big character in Empire Strikes Back. Now, when you had to get 5 proof of purchase seals from the back of the figures, and you sent away from Boba Fett, and then it got delayed. The first Boba Fett figure, the rocket in a jetpack, launched. It came out.
It did.
And then they figured out that it was a choking hazard. And that delayed the whole thing up. And we all eventually got our Boba Fetts, but it was like, I remember being a kid checking them. It says 6 to 8 weeks. And you know it says 6 to 8 weeks, but you mail it. And then from that day on, you're checking the mailbox thinking that
every day.
You're a kid. You don't know any better.
Because 6 to 8 weeks is an eternity waiting for a toy.
My mom tell you, no, it's not even close yet. I'm still checking. Is it there? No, it's not there yet. Yeah, you never know.
The juice is worth the squeeze. And just to answer that, it was a set of 4 Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, 1980 Burger King, Coca-Cola. Looks like C-3PO, Darth Vader, Lando Calrissian, and Luke.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can purchase on eBay right now, all 4 together, for about $130.
Wow.
Just in case you
those were the cups?
These are glasses.
Glasses, like real glass.
I remember my uncle had those glasses, and no one was allowed to drink out of them.
No.
I have 2 of them still.
You have 2 of which one? Do you know which ones you have?
I could go look, but
yeah, that's okay. We'll keep going.
We got Lando and What's the other? Those are R2D2 and C3PO.
RT2, C3PO, and then Darth Vader. Now they came out with a bunch of I have a bunch of the Batman and Robin ones, stuff like that. But Burger King, for those who don't know, was massive, and and around that time they always were release real pint glass sets, and they were so cool to get. Right,
they were must get items. You had to get it.
Yeah,
you had to get it. And Burger King also did one for Star Wars and Return of the Jedi as well.
Yep.
So I'm assuming, I just want to kind of ask this, and I think this is where people get a little sideways that love the Star Wars franchise. What were your thoughts? I want to break the 3-3-3 theory here, right? We obviously, I'm going to go on a limb and say the first three that were released were your favorites. And then we had another set come out in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And then we had another set come out around 2015.
Okay.
The ones that came out in the 90s, what were your thoughts on them?
They were really good. I enjoyed seeing the backstory. A lot of people were critical of them. I'll tell you a story. So I grew up on the first three, loved Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Down the line, I get signed to WCW, and I'm doing a lot of traveling on planes, this, that, the other thing. And I was never a guy that went out that much, so I usually went back to my room. I discovered that there was this whole universe of Star Wars novels. So from that time, to the prequels, from high school, college, and on the road, I would read it. I would consume these novels like they were going out of style, and that was my only source of Star Wars. So when these movies came out again, one, I was just super grateful that Star Wars was out again in the movies. When I watch them more critically now as a really hardcore fan, were they as good as the first three? No, but they were still, I love watching them. I really like watching them. So not as good as the first three, but still really, really good.
And in the 2015 series that came out?
Here's where I'm terrible. So Force Awakens, I thought had some potential laying the characters down. They had some cool new characters. They left it off with that one scene with Rey handing the lightsaber to Luke, which I thought had great potential. And then you get to Last Jedi, and it just goes right down the toilet bowl. I thought in Last Jedi and also Rise of Skywalker, there were a bunch of scenes that were visually incredible to watch. I just didn't like the story. And part of the reason is those novels that I watched, read rather, that happened after Return of the Jedi. There were some amazing, amazing stories of Luke evolving into this super powerful Jedi that does amazing stuff. And there's a whole dynamic with Leia and Han, and they're having Force-sensitive twins. There's Grand Admiral Thrawn, who we finally get to see in Ahsoka, this great character. But when you compare The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker to those stories that I had read, it's not even close. And I wanted to love those stories. I wanted to love those movies. And I watched them repeatedly, and I tried to, and I just can't. But there were a lot of cool characters with some really cool potential. Again, visually, some of the things they did was incredible. I just think they dropped the ball on the whole story.
I'm going to be honest with you. The first one I thought was of the 2015. I don't even remember the names of them. The first one I did not like at all. I'm going to be honest with you. I actually liked the very last one the most.
See, I liked the first one. I didn't like the last one.
Let me tell you why I didn't like the first one, because it came out the same year that Batman versus Superman, right around the same time. And everybody was dogging out Batman versus Superman, talking about how great the new Star Wars was. And I went to see, I was like, are these guys serious? This is dog shit, man. What are we doing here? But I did like the way it ended. I did. I was like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to even lie. I teared up at the end of the last one. I did. It for some reason, it took me back to a place of a kid watching these characters grow over all these years and watching what happened. And it just took me back. And I was like, I think it really hit me that I've made this journey through all these different Star Wars movies, and it's coming to an end of what I knew it to be as a kid. And like it's almost like a piece of my childhood died in some way, if that sounds weird or not, you know?
The end scene with Luke and Leia's ghost watching Rey bury the lightsaber was very strong. Very strong scene. I was like, wow, that's really strong. But how they got there, I just thought was awful. As a fan, I wanted to see that kick-ass Luke Skywalker doing his thing.
Agreed.
Not just with a lightsaber, like all these crazy force powers. Because between the early 2000s until now, you have all these video games that I love playing, Force Awakens and stuff like that, where there's all these new force powers, really freaking cool. And I'm like, wow, I bet Luke's going to see that. You know what I mean? You can start doing those, you know?
They could have made him more of a, you're right. That's a good call out. They could have made him, they should have made him where he was just a badass and he chose not to be, right? I think that's a great, I never looked at it that way. That's a good outlook. Ruckus, did you like the last three?
I liked the first one of the last three, but I watched maybe 3/4 of the second, and then I got about halfway through the third when I was like, I'm not feeling it. And I think me personally, it was more, I was one of those fans that for whatever reason, sometimes it happens naturally, you just kind of cling to the original. You know what I mean? And it's like that. I mean, there's different facets of the fan base and every fandom that you have. You have some that consume everything and walk into everything with an open mind. And then you have other fans that cling to the original and then walk into everything with kind of like that, nothing's going to compare, so I don't even know why I'm sitting down. So it's almost like hate watching. And I wasn't hate watching. I wasn't hate watching it until I got about midway through, and I was just like, I'm not feeling it. Yeah.
You know, I chose to watch the first one. What was the first of the last three? What was that? The Force Awakens, is that what it was called?
Force Awakens.
Yeah. So I chose to watch at the theater. I barely go to the theater. I was like, I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to go solo, right? I was in town working. And I was like, either going to watch that or Deadpool. I'm like, how good could Deadpool really be, right? Yeah, that was a good call there, man. I totally botched that one up. So as we talk about Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars, right? Crowbar, this movie came out in June 18th of 1980. And I think we're all around the same age, right? And every week, every Sunday morning, the top 40 would come on the radio, right? Casey Kasem with his sultry voice would take us down from 40 to 1. Now, what we like to do here, Ruckus and Crowbar, is we like to go over the top 10. Ruckus, tell them the twist that we add to it, though.
All right, so this is how it works with Guess That Top 10. So Keeping It Will is going to read off the top 10 Billboard singles the week that Empire Strikes Back was released, which was the week of June 18th, 1980. Will name out and call out the artist and the song title, and it's up to Crowbar and myself to sing from flash memory. So what we'll do is, once he reads this out, Crowbar, you'll have an opportunity. If you remember it, just sing it exactly how you remember it. It doesn't have to be like the whole song. It could be the melody. You can hum it. If you know the words, you can sing the words, and I'll jump in with you. If you don't know it, and I do, I'll give you a beat, and then I'll jump in and sing it. If we both don't know it, then we're up creek. If we both know it, it's a party. So that's kind of how. That's kind of how.
I love it. That's a good way of putting it. All right. Now, this week, I'm going to be honest with you. Looking at them, I'm like,
And by the way, I have no idea. I did not look to see what the songs were, so I have no clue. Crowbar has no clue. Will is just going to read this off to us on the fly.
Right. But before we get started, I do have one more question to ask you. Not about Star Wars, but about something else, because I think we all grew up in the 80s, right, watching movies, right? And a major hit in the 80s was The Karate Kid. Right, and I just kind of
oh my God, don't
real quick,
get me going on it.
Yeah, was Daniel the bad guy in The Karate Kid?
Me? You're asking me?
Yes.
I'll tell you something here. The Karate Kid is probably a 17-minute movie in real life.
Okay,
Mr. Miyagi. He beats up 5 minors and he goes to jail.
That's what I said. Thank you. It makes no sense.
None of 5 minors when they're in the skeleton costumes. Those parents aren't letting that fly.
No,
Miyagi's going to jail.
done. He's a felon. It makes no. And furthermore, Daniel just got too aggressive on the beach. He deserved that ass whooping. Take your ass whooping, move on.
And now, but he just meets this kid, and he gives him a car. If I'm the parent, I'm a little concerned. Weird.
I think you've actually taken this a whole new direction, and I'm in. I'm here for it.
Miyagi's getting sloshed about his past. He's feeling bad. He's giving the kid a car. He's dressing him like a shower.
It's not Miyagi Dojo. It's Miyagi Doblo karate. I think we're
And
there.
Daniel's in his backyard doing all these chores, sweating and glistening in the sun. And Miyagi's watching him from his window.
It's like in dodgeball. Get in there nice and deep like.
And then ready for this. Then fast forward, Karate Kid Part 2. Yeah, Daniel, I'm going to bring you back to my home country where the mob wants to kill me.
Yes.
Miyagi's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Miyagi's
you know what?
a piece of shit.
I'm in for it. Miyagi is the bad guy, and that's a whole new twist.
I love that.
This is why we asked this question, because it's emotional for everybody. Right here, you heard it. I love it. All right, top 10. Let's get down with this.
Ruined the Karate Kid. Ruined it.
I think you just gave a new life, honestly.
I think we're gonna use that.
We need to figure out how we can purchase the rights to film our own version.
And he dressed him like a shower too. I said that's also weird.
Wait. Purchase our own version.
Purchase the rights to film our own version.
Okay. All right. Maybe we can tie.
You don't understand entertainment. I get it. I know you don't understand it.
Maybe we can attach the Ruckus under the covers. I have an idea. I want Ruckus to
another idea.
All cover songs with 70s porn themes to them. Right? And we're going to call it Ruckus under the covers. Right? He gets it. All right. Number 10 for week ending June 21st, 1980. The weekend Star Wars came out. Number 10, the only Michael Jackson song I've never ever heard of, but maybe you guys have. She's Out of My Life by Michael Jackson.
What the hell?
Yeah. I think it was from The Wall. The album The Wall.
I don't know this one.
No, I don't know that either.
No, I think we can go ahead and move on because I think we're going to know number 9. All right, you ready?
Okay.
Number 9, massive hit. I still listen to it to this day. Gary Newman, Cars.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Cars. Dun, dun.
Oh,
Yeah. Here in my car. Cars.
Yeah, there you go.
Cars.
Nice. There you go. All right.
Here in my yes. That's it. We got it.
You got it. Number 8. I know the song. I remember the melody of it. But I don't remember the beginning of it. Robbie Dupree, Steal Away. Steal Away. Or is that still the same? That might be
No. I think you say it again.
Steal Away. Steal Away.
Damn it.
That does sound familiar.
We're still dancing. Steal the night. I think that's it. I think that you know what? We're going to give it to you. I think we all knew it. All right. Number 7. I don't remember this one either. Elton John, Little Genie.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Why does the week of night?
You know this song? I know the song, but I can't remember. Little
It's a tough
Genie.
We'll go with that melody. I think you know.
Let's say June 18th, 1980, he's got all B-sides. Like, what the hell is happening?
No. It gets better. It gets better. Right?
Well, the Empire was coming out. They knew that didn't matter that week.
Yeah. They're like, we're going to put out dog shit this week. Casey Kasem probably didn't even do it this week. All right. Number 6. Classic by Billy Joel. It's Still Rock and Roll to Me.
Still rock and roll to me. Everybody's talking about.
Yeah, there you go.
Sounds funny,
but it's still rock and roll to me.
Dun, dun, dun. All
right,
good one. Yeah.
Love that one. All right, now this is from one of my favorite artists of all time, Bob Seger, right? Who I absolutely adore and love. And this was immortalized in Forrest Gump, Against the Wind.
Against the wind, run against the wind. Na, 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 na,
Old and
na,
cold,
na,
taking
against
shelter.
the wind.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, I don't
Massive
remember.
song.
Y'all got it.
All right, you got it, though. You got it. All right, number 4. This was a movie loosely based, I believe, on Janis Joplin, right? I don't know if it was actually her name was used in it, but it's the same title of the movie. And this was a monster hit, The Rose.
Who sang
Here
it?
comes the rose.
Some say love is
From Napoleon
anchor.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
The Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Some say
the
love.
And the night has gone too long.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Napoleon Dynamite.
That's right. I forgot that was a
I don't remember. There we go, right there.
All right, number 3. This
Holy
one, I don't know. I don't know this one, and I should have looked it up, and I'm sorry. Ambrosia, not the salad, but the artist. Ambrosia, biggest part of me. I
have no clue.
I think we just stick with Ambrosia salad as the best part of that one.
Ambrosia
and we move on.
salad.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. Again, I don't remember this one. Not a big fan of them. And it was Paul McCartney and Wings, live at Glasgow, coming up. I don't think it was the Pink song.
I'm coming up, so you
They
better.
better get the party started. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. Well, you know what? Let's just take that one. We'll go with that. All right. Number 1. I think we're all going to know this one. Because if you did not like this song as a kid, you had no business living in the 80s. This is quintessential 80s song. By 4 weeks at number 1 at this point, by the way, by Lips Incorporated, Funky Town.
Won't you take me to the funky town?
Won't you take
Won't
me
you
to?
take me
Gotta make a move to a town that's right for me.
Hey, sing that again.
You shut your face.
No, don't.
So that brings out the number.
All right.
Rounds out the top 10. We also like just to cruise through some of the pop culture happenings of 1980, right? So if I'll go through some things and you stop me if you're like, oh, crap, I had that, I knew that, or I mentioned that, right? The Steelers defeat the Los Angeles Raiders 31-19 to win the Super Bowl that year. In January 29th, 1980, this one tweet came out that revolutionized toys, and we still play with it to this day, and that is the Rubik's Cube. Did you have one as a kid?
The Rubik's Cube.
I had one, and I just couldn't do it.
Can you not do it? I've never been able to do it.
There was a Rubik's Cube. Then they came out with the missing link that was like chained.
The missing link. The Rubik's Revenge was the bigger Rubik's Cube. They had the Rubik's Pyramid.
I had the snake. I just made a cross of it and said, look, thought it was cool.
I got in trouble because my sister had the Rubik's Cube, my older sister, and I peeled all the stickers
You peeled
off.
the stickers off.
I did.
Oh, look at that.
I peeled the stickers off, and then she got another one, and I took it to school, and the teacher took it from me and said, your mom has to come and get this. So I got in trouble for swiping it from my sister's room and then getting it taken by the teacher. Then a couple months later, my sister got a Rubik's Revenge. I took that to school. And on the way home on the school bus, the bus driver was pissed at all the kids for making a bunch of noise. She slammed on the brakes, and I was fooling around with the Rubik's Revenge in the bus seat, and I dropped it in the floor, and it smashed into a million pieces.
Wow.
And I got in big. I mean, you talk
trouble.
about like I got the soul whipped out of my ass that day.
Well, nowadays the parents will just show up with their phone and shove it in the teacher's face and then they demand it back. Good job, parents. All right, February 19th, 1980, AC/DC lead singer Bon Scott dies at the age of 33. Oh,
Wow.
that was. Were you a big AC/DC fan, Crowbar?
I love AC/DC. My first CD I ever got was AC/DC Live at Donington Castle when I was in high school. I think it was my junior year. My first CD I ever got it was a double CD set.
Do you remember your first CD, Ruckus? Not record, not tape, but CD.
CD. First CD was Megadeth. What was it? Countdown to Extinction.
Love that one.
Good one.
I was cassettes all the way up until like I was in high school, and I
had my first CD player in the 7th grade. I got one early, right? Because my parents feel bad because they were parents, so they got me a CD player. And God bless, I can be proud. Remember that. So I got Kiss, Thrashes, Smashes, and Hits, and Bon Jovi's New Jersey. Those were they got them together. Great records. All right. Iron Maiden released their self-titled debut album. We all know Iron Maiden has went on to become massively big. We also know Empire Strikes Back. And then last but not least, the best, most influential, in my opinion, video game to ever come out, May 22nd, Pac-Man came out May 22nd, 1980. Were you a big Pac-Man fan or were you Miss Pac-Man? Or did it matter to you? Crowbar.
Oh, sorry. I like Miss Pac-Man. I like Miss Pac-Man better, and I will tell a cool story. My brother was years older than me, 10 years older than I was, and I was not playing clearly. 10 years. So, I remember going on vacation one year, and then a few years thereafter, visiting the colleges that he would attend, and went across with the Midwest to check out this place in North Dakota, Minnesota, this, that, the other thing. And whenever we stopped, because it was such an arduous trip and just brutal, my parents would pacify me by giving me quarters, and Miss Pac-Man was everywhere. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Every rest stop, every whatever. A lot of Miss Pac-Man.
You could not go anywhere without playing Miss Pac-Man. Yeah. It was for kids nowadays. And I'm not trying to be the old man yells clouds. Never understand what it was like to get some quarters and play those games. Yeah.
And when they came out on Atari, they were must get. You had to get them.
You had to get that. I was huge. Now I'm going to tell you right now. I was a big fan of Baby Pac-Man. I don't know if y'all remember that one.
I remember Baby Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man.
You remember Baby Pac-Man?
I remember it. I played it at Putt Putt.
What was unique about Baby Pac-Man?
Didn't it have the pinball game?
Yes. I just want to make sure you weren't bullshitting, but yes.
Hey, look.
Hey, look.
If I'm bullshitting, I'll let you know after the fact.
Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead, okay? I have to ask, all right? So, and I'll bring over to the next segment, Ruckus. What do we have next?
Our next segment up is show and tell. So remember when you guys used to be in elementary school, middle school, the teacher would have a show and tell segment on Fridays or whatever day of the week that she chose. And she said, anybody in the class, if you have anything from home that you'd like to bring on and share with the class, come up to the front, tell us all about it. Crowbar, what do you have for us for show and tell this week?
Okay, so at that time, from The Empire Strikes Back, they came out with a bunch of really cool toys. They had the Imperial walkers from Hoth. Mm-hmm. They had these Hoth bases. They had the Dagobah place where Yoda lived. But the coolest thing that I wanted more than anything else was Boba Fett's Slave One. And the reason is because Slave One came with the Han Solo in Carbon Freeze action figure. Was not sold yet. Was not made as an action. Down the line, they made it as an action figure that you could buy. But at that time, for years and years, the only way you could get that action figure was Han Solo in Carbonite. So we'll fast forward to 2023. One of my favorite things in this room is, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh,
in Carbonite. Can you see him?
Oh my God. How tall is that?
It's on the wall, probably like 6.5 feet. And then we got little places from there.
That is it's amazing how we go and get things from our childhood, right?
Yes.
Like that might be a home run show. That is a home run show and tell.
That's a home run show and tell right there.
And then we got Stormtrooper there with a replica of WCW Hardcore title.
Oh, is that what he's? Oh, check that out.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's decorated for Christmas time, but we got Darth Vader.
Damn. You went with the three-peat. You got the three-piece on the show and tell. Holy
I'll give you the story very briefly. I got signed to WCW. There was a store at one of the malls where I live called Big Entertainment, memorabilia store, going out of business. So the Stormtrooper was listed at like $6,000, which at that time I just said, I'm not going to spend $6,000 on a big toy. I love Star Wars, but I'm not frivolous like that. Going out of business, floor model, it had a few nicks on it and this and that. No certificate of authenticity. I didn't care. I got it for $250.
Whoa!
Oh my God!
I didn't buy it to sell it again. I bought it for me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So then, at that same store, they had a Han Solo in carbonite, also for $250.
Wow.
The girl that I was currently dating was creeped out. We were dating, and everybody was saying it was one of those situations where we're dating, and us and other people expect us to get married. She's creeped out and afraid of Han Solo in carbonite. So I don't get it.
Oh no,
it doesn't happen. So fast forward, it's 2023 now. So 2018, I'm really good friends with a Roadkill from ECW and Danny Doring, the last ever ECW tag champ. Very good friends of mine. And Roadkill's a big, eBay collectible dealer, buyer, seller, and stuff like that. And he was driving out here to the new house, and there's this other collectible place by us on Route 17 in New Jersey. He calls me, Clown, the big Darth Vader out here. Now it's in August, and it's like 90 degrees out. And he goes, hey, why don't you come see it? It's right by your house. So I go and see it, and he goes, how much would you be willing to pay for that? I go, I don't know. He goes, it got to be a ton of money. We just built this new house. He goes, no, they don't want it too bad. I said, why? How'd you know? Well, it's 90 degrees out, and it's out in the parking lot. They can't care about it that much. So, I go, I'll pay up to $1,000 for it, whatever. So he goes in, walks in, and he comes out. He goes, you said 1,000, right? I go, yeah. He goes, well, I got you Vader and Solo for 1,000. I go, each? He goes, no, for both. He somehow wheeled and dealed Vader and Han Solo.
Wow.
1,000 for both.
Wow.
Great kit. Yeah.
So
thank you, Roadkill.
Let me tell you, Crowbar, you just hit Will in his soul, because Will loves to search and loves to find deals, and that is a treasure hunt that he could
not my wheelhouse at all. Not my wheel, but I got a guy that knows it.
It's I love the. As a matter of fact, I just got a piece not too long ago. You'll like this. It's a Warner. I collect Batman stuff, right? It was a Warner Brothers cell lithograph of a Batman animated series storyboard, right? It was all penciled in. And as a kid, when 20-some-year-old kid, it was like $500 in the Warner Brothers store. I was like, I couldn't afford that then. And I said, you know what? I'm in a position now. Let me go look for it. Found it, got a great deal. But the kicker is it's signed by the guy who voiced the Joker, the one and only Mark Hamill from Star Wars.
Mark Hamill. Wow.
Yes. I sent him a picture. I was like, oh my God, I finally got it. I was so excited. It was my Thanksgiving gift to me. So I feel like I got to be good to myself every now and then.
He sends me a picture and I have to no sell it. He's like, look what I got. I'm like, cool story, bro.
I freaked out. I randomly will throw up Star Wars stuff on Twitter once in a while. It's usually always wrestling. And in character. Once in a while, I'll put something real up about friends and family, here and there. But I saw a post, and it has something to do with Star Wars fan fiction. And I just wrote in, I go, hypothetically, at the end of Return of the Jedi, say Luke kills the Emperor, and he manages to save Darth Vader somehow. I mean, force power, or he fixes the suit and he saves Darth Vader. So he gets off the Death Star. Darth Vader is alive still. Real happy ending. The Emperor dies. The Death Star blows up. Luke and Darth Vader are alive right now, right? You follow me, right?
Yep, we're there.
Okay, so what happens now? It's really great that Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, is good again. That's fantastic. Happy ending. But let's be honest, he's killed millions or billions of people. Do they turn him over to the authorities, or do you think the Rebel Alliance kind of keep quiet about it?
He just becomes that old grampy grandpa
No, but they put him on trial for the war crimes or not?
Like, look, man, we love you. We glad you had a change of heart, but we need to discuss what's happened over the last several years.
You can't do that because he's going to go and you're dead.
So, I write that. Mark Hamill chimes in on it. I lost
my mind. Oh, that's awesome. We're going to have to look that up. That is awesome.
Road Warriors pop. It was great.
Yes.
Couldn't believe it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that story.
What a great show and tell.
Yeah.
Awesome. All the way through. And that brings us to our main event, Ruckus.
Yes, our main event for the evening is Wacky Table Reads. Guys, if you follow the show, you know how this works. Our guests choose or give us a list of their favorite comedies, and Keeping It Will and myself usually choose 2 surprise scenes from that list for us to do cold scene reenactments.
Yes,
this week is very special, as typically we do comedy films. CROWBAR has chosen 2 particular shows, TV shows, King of Queens and Seinfeld. And the task for scene choices was left to Keeping It Will. He's chosen 2 scenes, one from King of Queens, where Carrie is caught cheating on the game that they're playing with their friends. And then Seinfeld, where Jerry Seinfeld goes out on a date with Miss Rhode Island and Kramer has to be the chaperone. So I will first say that I watched King of Queens lightly, and I wasn't a huge fan of Seinfeld, but I loved watching these 2 scenes. Great choices from Keeping It Will. Guys, I'll let you know right off the bat, CROWBAR just got these scenes today. He got the scripts today. We have not
and I worked all day.
Yeah. We've not rehearsed anything. These are complete cold scene reads, and the way we always say, whatever happens, happens.
We chose these because King of Queens, I'm going to be honest with you, me and my girlfriend back in 2007 to 2010 would watch this all the time because at that point I was a little portly, if I'm being honest with you. So I could relate to a fat guy with a really hot girlfriend at the time. So I know these shows like the back of my hand. This is before I became the Adonis that I am today. Right, but yeah, that's it hit home. So good choices.
We're no selling that last line, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't need you to sell. Okay, I know what I am.
Popeye the Sailor, right?
Which one are we doing first?
All right, first up is King of Queens.
All right.
Doug and Carrie are at Deacon and Kelly's house, and they're playing again. What is the game that they're playing? And it's not charades, but it's some type of a word clue game, right? What was the name of the game?
Pictionary? No, it's not Pictionary.
No, it's not Pictionary because you have to draw.
Scrabble? No.
It's not Scrabble.
Scruples?
We'll say
it's like you say a word,
pyramid.
It's like $10,000
kind
of like pyramid. Yeah, it's kind of like pyramid.
Words with friends. All right. Yep.
Yeah. So and Carrie notices that they're about to lose, so she decides to cheat to win. The only one that sees her cheating is Doug. So that gives a little nice little awkward ride home after that. So narrating and playing the role of Deacon is Keeping It Will. Yep. I will be playing the role of Carrie, and Doug will be played by CROWBAR. How we feeling?
I'm in. Let's do it.
Let's
do it.
Do it.
Let's
All
try
right.
it.
King of Queens, here we go. Cheating on the game. Keeping it, Will, you ready?
Yes. All right.
You do realize that when I say, are you ready? And every time you hesitate, I just edit that shit out, right?
Oh, my God.
I'm the editor. So I'm one of the editors. So I'm the one that cuts this out. Keeping it, Will, you ready?
Yes. Keep editing.
Crowbar, you ready?
I think so.
All right, here we go. Everything highlighted in yellow is narration, and Keeping It will be reading that. Anything in green, highlighted in green, is an action on screen. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, scene.
Doug and Carrie at Deacon and Kelly's playing a couples game challenge. Carrie gets a little desperate when she sees that her and Doug appear to be on the cusp of losing.
Ice cream.
Cone.
Ice cream.
Flavors, Sundae, Tom Carvel, Cookie Puss. Come on, I need more here.
Ice cream.
I mean another word, Doug.
Time's up.
Man, well, what the hell is it?
It was truck. Ice cream truck. You know, good humor with the bell. Good clue.
Doug, you drive a truck for a living. How about what I drive for a living?
That would have been another way to go with it, yes.
The next couple bombs complete, which brings them to Deacon and Kelly, who have one more chance to take the lead and win the game. As they start firing off clues and answers, it appears that Carrie and Doug are about to lose. Carrie slowly grabs the timer while no one is watching. No one but Doug, that is. She flips the timer and hits the buzzer, cheating them out of their time.
Time.
Man, I thought we had more time than that.
Yeah, it goes fast, doesn't it? Okay, honey, come on, actor.
The car ride home for Doug and Carrie is an awkward one. Doug wants Carrie to fess up for cheating in the game, but doesn't exactly know how to bring it up. Carrie seems unfazed.
Hey, turned out to be a fun night after all.
Yeah, a fun night. Yep, yeah. Especially because it looked like we were going to lose, and then, boom, turned itself right around, out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, by the way, I promised Kelly a rematch at our house on Friday. Is that cool?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure.
An awkward silence overtakes the car ride, and Doug starts beating around the bush.
You know what I really love about being married to you?
Not having to pay for sex?
Yeah, that's good, too. Oh. What I meant was that we're always there for each other. You know, talk, admit stuff.
Why? You have something you want to admit?
Me? Yeah. Yes. As a matter of fact, yes, I do.
Well, what is it?
Well, tonight at Deacon and Kelly.
Yeah?
Oh, good. I stole a bar of soap.
You stole soap? Why?
Well, it wasn't just a regular bar of soap. It was one of those nice, decorative ones. Looked like a seashell. Had to have it.
So where is it?
Well, it's gone. I washed my hands with it, and now it's gone.
So you didn't actually steal it. You just used it.
Well, either way, I was very, very wrong.
I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Whew. Feels good to get that off my chest, though. What a relief. Once again, I'm good with the man upstairs. And how about you? Got anything?
Nope. And see.
Oh, I love that show so much.
It's so good. We usually watch it every night before bed. We usually fall asleep with King of Queens on. It's on constantly. It's great.
Yeah, same with. Oh, you got. Oh, damn it! I'm sorry. I just happened to open up Seinfeld and realize I was Miss Rhode Island.
Giddy up.
Yeah. awesome. All right, let's go.
That brings us to our final scene. Seinfeld. Seinfeld and Miss Rhode Island go on a date, and Kramer is the chaperone.
So good.
So just to back it up here, so Jerry meets Miss Rhode Island at a baseball game and kind of does the little wheel and deal and flirt thing, try to set up a date. He calls her up, asks her out. She can't go out unless she has a chaperone because she's in the midst of the Miss America pageant. The chaperone cannot make it, so Kramer just happens to walk in. Jerry convinces Kramer to be the chaperone for him to go out on a date and try to hook up with Miss Rhode Island. He was not prepared for what Kramer had in store. So, narrating and playing the role of Miss Rhode Island is Keeping It Will. I will be playing the role of Jerry Seinfeld. And Kramer, who is just absolutely amazing in this scene, will be played by CROWBAR.
Big shoes to fill on that one. That's going to be rough. He's awesome in this. He's tremendous in this
One of a kind sitcom character. Like,
absolutely.
Really. So, here we go. It's going to happen. Keeping It Will. Are you ready?
No.
I need you to search deep inside your soul for Miss Rhode Island.
Well, I think
It's there
anything
somewhere.
I'm going to do is going to be way better than that dog performance you just gave Carrie on the last week, okay? So I'm just going to throw
I
that
hope
out
so.
there now.
I certainly hope so.
I'm excited. Let's do this.
All right. CROWBAR, you ready?
I think so.
All right, here we go. Seinfeld needs a chaperone. 3, 2, 1, scene.
Jerry is trying to go out on a date with Miss Rhode Island, but is in need of a chaperone since she is an active contestant for Miss America. Her personal chaperone is unavailable. In walks Kramer.
Hey, what are you doing tonight?
Nothing.
I'm going out with I'm going out with one of the Miss America contestants. You want to go?
What state?
Rhode Island.
Nah, it's never in contention.
How do you know?
Because I've seen every Miss America pageant since I was 6.
Look, do you want to go or not? I'll buy you dinner.
Giddy up.
Later that evening, Kramer's come back dressed and ready to go.
Hold on. Oh, sorry. So what do you think? Does this work?
Listen, tonight after we're finished eating, you make like you've got something else to do and just recede into the night, if you know what I mean.
No way.
What?
Look, if you think I'm going to step aside and do nothing while you defile this woman, you're crazy.
I'm not going to defile her.
That's right, because I'm going to see to it that it doesn't happen. Look, Jerry, these girls are Miss America contestants. It's every little girl's dream, and I'm not going to go out there and let you trample that dream and make a mockery of everything the pageant stands for.
But I
So much. Those are my rules.
But wait a minute.
Now, if you want to go out there and have some good, wholesome fun
That's
with a nice girl, then I can help you out.
why can't I? But I
If you're looking for something more than that, you got the wrong guy, bud.
no.
Later that evening, Jerry, Kramer, and Miss Rhode Island are enjoying dinner. Well, Kramer and Miss Rhode Island are anyways.
If you were Miss America, what would you do to make the world a better place?
As Miss America, I would try and bring an end to world hunger. If every person sacrificed one meal a week, there would be enough to feed the whole world.
That's a hell of a plan.
That's a great line. What advice would you give to young people?
All right, Kramer.
This is important. She's got to be able to answer these questions. She's not going to have time to think out there with millions of people watching her. Any hesitation could cost her the crown. You know, poise counts.
You know a lot about this, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Like last year, Miss Texas. Now, she should have won easily, but she had lost points in the swimsuit competition.
Well, what could she have done?
Taped her breasts again.
What else?
All right. We'll take you, for example. Now, you're very attractive, but you got a big waist.
Hey, come on.
No, it's okay. Go on.
Well, I'd recommend a waist cincher.
Really? Oh, yeah, just
Suck
it in.
Suck you in.
Yeah, that's that was his line. I forgot
And I knew it. I knew it.
I'll be right back.
So what's your talent?
Magic.
I'm thinking of a number from 1 to 10.
6.
No, 5. But you were close.
The three are in the car heading out. Jerry's beside himself as the third wheel while Kramer and Miss Rhode Island continue their pageant talk. I'm wearing this red dress.
Stop right there.
Why?
Well, you got brown eyes. You want to wear a green dress.
That makes sense.
Well, here we are.
The car pulls up to Rhode Island's hotel and she's about to leave. Kramer, would you consider being my personal consultant for the pageant?
Okay. But if I'm going to do this, we play by my rules, or we don't play at all.
I'm in your hands. Oh, well, good night, Jerry. Jerry moves in for a kiss and it is interrupted by Kramer. Oh, Kenneth, would you take him home?
Yeah.
The car pulls away and Kramer softly begins to sing the Miss America theme.
There she is, Miss America.
Oh, shut the f up. Insane.
It's so good. It's so good.
So good. I love that scene. I love that show. I love that show. Good choices.
Crowbar.
People have not watched it. They need to go watch it because it's so good.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Crowbar. This is your moment. Let everybody know where you're at these days. Anything that you want them to know what you've got going on. This will air a little bit later, so just kind of keep that in mind. But anything you want them to know, the floor is yours.
I am on Twitter at WCW Crowbar. That's where I do most of my stuff, almost all my stuff. I'm on Instagram, WCW Crowbar 74. Not on there that much. I do mainly the Twitter stuff just because I'm a pro wrestler. I'm a dad. I'm a business owner. I got so much stuff going on, so I mainly do the Twitter thing. So if you want to see the most updated stuff, the most current stuff, at WCW Crowbar on Twitter or X, whatever you call it now.
X Twitter. Twitter X.
Twitter.
Whatever it is. Hey, listen, Crowbar, absolutely amazing time. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on. Great stories that you shared. Wonderful show and tell segment. Awesome wacky table reads. Great stroll down memory lane with Empire Strikes Back. You're always welcome on the show. If you have any ideas and any scenes that you want to do, hit us up. We will make time. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Crowbar.
Thank you, guys.